Okay, Manny. Who are we probing today? Oh, come on, Manny. You said I could probe somebody.
Hey, this is UFO Report number 40, and I am Manny Moonraker. And I'm here with you today because that's what we do. I talk, you listen, you reply, and I talk some more. I'm pretty astonished at the fact that this is UFO Report number 40. Gee Louise, this is going to catch up to the episodes. No kidding. So there wasn't really anything out there worthwhile for this particular report to shoot out. There's no breaking news. Now, I do want to thank Ronnie Dawson, Jeff, and Billy as well for keeping the UBR Truth Seekers page really active, posting stuff that's being reported by the rubber dickers on the internet, especially our buddy Tyler Locknerd from Security Team 10. If you want to check out what they posted, go to UBR Truth Seekers Facebook group and join up. We're posting a lot of stuff and you're missing out on it. Come on, we're waiting for you. So today's topic is going to be about surveys. And normally this is something that I would kind of leave for an episode on Sunday, but I figure, you know what the hell? Let's just go ahead and talk about it now, because it's Friday, the weekend's coming up, ET's taking a break, kicking back, getting a couple of beers, and just, chilling. Taking a break from probing, shining them up real good, getting them ready for next week. Whatever it is that's happening, usually Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, it's a UFO break. But we're going to talk about surveys today. And the reason why we're talking about surveys is because you hear about damn surveys all the time. Dentists have surveys to get you to buy a toothpaste. Beers have surveys. What doesn't have a survey? All kind of stuff. It all comes down to a survey in one way or another. But we've had surveys over the years regarding the existence of alien life. So the first survey we're going to go over is strictly about the U.S., even though in the article, which I have linked so you can read the survey results for yourself, in the article they do talk about other countries, and according to them, about 1,000 people or more in each country were surveyed, though they never mention a damn country, so it almost makes that line completely useless. But they say that the margin of error is about plus or minus 4%. Whatever. What you're going to hear is that since 2015, when this survey was conducted, the majority of people believe alien life exists. And not just any alien life. We're not talking about amoebas or any kind of single-celled animal. We're talking about intelligent life. The type that actually can communicate, walk and talk, probably chew gum too. I don't know. So the first fact is, number one, men in the United States, 65% of men are more likely than women to believe in extraterrestrial life being intelligent. Women probably got other things to do than sit around wondering whether or not there's life 4.2 far. Men apparently have more time to think about it. And they probably are looking for drinking buddies. So they imagine that maybe there's a little green guy somewhere willing to kick back a few. Among those 46%, they're probably wishing that the 65% of men do go 4.2 far just to give them a break. Now that's fascinating. Again, all jokes aside, it's still a significant number. 65% of men 46% of women believe ET has brains somewhere out there. Now, we also get into the situation of the geographical location of individuals and their beliefs about extraterrestrial life. People in the South and the West sit at 57% as far as their belief that alien life does exist. And folks in the northern U.S., only 47% believe that. So the Yankees not as believing that ET is 4.2 far. But if you go to the West and you go to the South, cowboy boots and a little bit of herb, you definitely believe that there's a transformer out there sitting somewhere planning to take over the planet. Now, the best thing about surveys, you always get the explanation about what the other side believes. So, 31% of people that responded to the survey that do not believe that alien life exists gave two reasons. First reason, humans were created by God or another higher being. So basically, God or the higher being is not going to go around hopping through the universe making carbon copies of himself. The other explanation for their disbelief in the fact that there could be alien life that's intelligent, and that is that the Earth is unique. It is the only place capable of sustaining intelligent life. Listen, we have dumbasses here. There could be dumbasses out there 4.2 far. So maybe intelligent life is not the way to put this to most people. Now, the surveyors didn't just stop in asking whether or not there is life somewhere else. They kind of went into this whole Fermi paradox situation, but we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But in this survey, the question was posed to those people that took the survey as to why is it that if there is intelligent life, if there is an alien with at least two brain cells that rub together to give them an idea about things, why haven't they contacted us? 42% of Americans that responded to this indicated that human technology is shit. We're basically not advanced enough to communicate with ET life anywhere else. I can believe that. Now, in addition to that, another question was posed regarding the idea of mankind trying to contact aliens that are 4.2 far. 43% of Americans that answered this question actually believe and support the idea of sending digital messages describing life on Earth to other intelligent civilizations in space. 31% of people that responded say, no, don't do it. Just leave it alone. What's fascinating is that in 2015, Stephen Hawking actually said that it was a great idea, that it was one of the greatest endeavors that mankind would ever undertake, and that is trying to find intelligent life outside of our own solar system. But you guys know that most recently, he kind of put the kibosh on that idea because all of a sudden, he's thinking that if we did that and we contacted someone, we have no idea what their intention is going to be, and they're probably going to be probing every single one of us if they have hostile intent. It's a chance you take, Stephen. It's a chance you take. The next survey we're going to talk about actually compares America versus Britain versus Germany. So this is fascinating because in every single one of those countries, more than half of the respondents believe that intelligent life exists somewhere else. 56% of the people that responded in Germany, 54% in the United States, and 52% in Britain. And just to compare this to the first survey, in the first survey, 31% of Americans did not believe in this. In Germany, 32% of Germans do not believe. Why don't we take these third of all these people, these populations, and put them in their own country and let them sit somewhere while the rest of us try to find ET? And again, in all countries, men completely believe in aliens 4.2 far more than women do. Now, this is going to bring us up to the other situation regarding this topic, and especially the belief that there is intelligent life somewhere else. So one of the things that Poindexters like to look at is the idea behind the Fermi paradox. So the Fermi paradox was named after a physicist by the name of Enrico Fermi. And the reason why he put this paradox together is because there is a contradiction between the lack of evidence and the high probability that are given by the Drake equation for the existence of extraterrestrial civilization. So basically, what we have is that mathematically, there should be intelligent life somewhere. However, there is zero evidence. And so there comes a paradox, because mathematically we're saying we should have people 4.2 far by now. We can see potential planets in Goldilocks zones billions of years away. By the time we see this in our telescope, if that planet was in a Goldilocks zone like Earth, that planet should have had the ability, all things being equal, to sustain life and develop well in advance of where we are today here on Earth. To give you an idea of the numbers that they're talking about, let's look at the probability that there is not life anywhere else. You might want to get a pen, a piece of paper, or you can just use your imagination. Take the number 1, write it down, imagine it, the number 1. And I want you to take that number 1, and we're going to add some zeros to it. We're not going to add 3, 6, or 9 zeros. No, we're going to add 24 zeros. So number 1, followed by 24 zeros. And if you want to call this number by name, it is septillion. There is 1 in 1 septillion. 1 in 1 septillion is the odds that there is not intelligent life somewhere else. That's a lot of zeros. So reasons why someone might say that the Fermi paradox exists. And this is fascinating, because the people that took the survey are proof that there is a paradox here. People who respond to the question of whether or why there is a lack of evidence for intelligent ET life say this: 58% say that they're 4.2 far. 57% say we do not have the technology to communicate with anybody. Hell, we can even communicate with each other, so I like that one. 24% say they don't even know we're here. And that's possible. 19% say technology is not advanced enough for us to communicate with them, or for them to communicate with us. 17%, now this is for many of the people who believe in conspiracies. In these surveys, only 17% of the people say that ET has already contacted us, but the government is covering it up. So in essence, what the Fermi paradox is trying to say, these planets, these civilizations are billions of years older than the planet Earth. Billions. Not a million, not a couple 100,000. There are billions of years older. Probably more. And so what the paradox is saying, that if you use that line of reasoning and you use those odds, that the Earth should have been visited by extraterrestrial life a long time ago. In fact, we're a little bit behind. Fermi himself noted that the lack of all this evidence is what's leading him to ask, where is everybody? Why is it that the universe seems to be silent? Maybe we're just stuck listening to too many rubber diggers. Maybe it is the government that's keeping this a secret. Maybe ET thinks we're a bunch of little shits. They don't want to deal with us. What's the reason? I don't know. If you have a reason why you think this is not happening, why is it that we do not have evidence, especially when we're looking at these type of numbers? Let me know. Go on Twitter, find me at UFO Buster Radio. Go on Instagram at Manny Moonraker. Go to the Facebook pages Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. And of course, you can join the rest of the gang on UBR Truth Seekers group page and let me know, why is it that you think that this is not happening? The truth is that there are many scientists out there that do not want to talk about alien life anywhere else. However, some of their colleagues are putting the numbers to it, and they're saying something should have happened already. I thank you for listening. Visit with me on Sunday for the next episode of UFO Buster Radio. Adios.